Everyone, this is Captain Lando Muniz with Nomad Fishing. Today I'm going to bring you the fishing report for this week. It's September 15th, 2023. I'm going to start off offshore and work my way back inshore. For those of you that like sword fishing, it's starting to pick up a little bit. I have a couple reports from this week, several fish caught. Most of the fish have been small, what we call rats, which are small, undersized fish, but there have been some keepers too. Um, Typically, late in September, October, you just start to see some of the best catches of the year for swordfish. So if you're into sword fishing or want to give it a try, now would be a good time to start getting ready and start getting out. Also offshore, there's still some mahi around. It's been very hit or miss, but there are some mahi to be caught. Some of the mahi have been real nice, just not very sporadic and very, like I said, hit or miss. It's tough right now. Also offshore, there has been a good amount of tuna in our area. These fish are moving through very fast. They've been anywhere from, I would say, from 500 feet out to about 1,200 or plus. We had some on our last couple of trips. We had a school of mostly skipjacks on, I think this was last Saturday. We got into a school. We were able to chum them up because that's real important. To be able to chum them up, and we were able to get some nice ones. I think we caught about 3 or 4 that day until they moved on and we moved on. On the next trip after that, we got into them pretty good. Those were mostly blackfins, and I think we had one skippy that day, and we also had a wahoo. I'm going to talk more about the wahoo here in a second. So the tunas have been real good. If you don't have a ton of bait, we were loaded down on bait. We probably had 1,000 baits, so we were able to chum heavy. If you don't have that amount of bait and you want to catch them, you can use small feathers on light tackle, fished way back. You get them that way. You can get them with planers and small lures and spoons and things like that. Fish way back, you get them like that too. But the live bait is by far a lot more exciting, a lot more fun. The sharks have been bad on any of the tunas. We actually had one of our best tuna trips just a few days ago. We were out with some customers. I'm going to actually be putting out a video on that. I'll show you a couple of clips here so you can get an idea of how crazy that was. We must have had easily 30, 40 bites from the tunas. We landed maybe a half a dozen. The rest got either broken off, sharked, and you name it. You have to be really fast on these tunas to get them to the boat before the sharks get them. The sharks were around the boat the entire time. We could always see 2 or 3 circling the boat. Who knows how many were down there. So it was a big problem. But again, keeping with that theme, the tuna fishing has been pretty good. You got to look for the birds, the working birds, the diving birds, get in front of them and start chumming. And that's how you get them up. You could also get them on vertical jigs again if you don't have the live chum. We had one boat the other day that was fishing right next to us on a real small boat. It's the guy and his girlfriend. And apparently he didn't have a live well, but he was jigging next to us, and we saw him hook up a lot. He was kind of working off our chum, but that's all fair. Again, moving in on the reef, yellowtail action has been pretty good. It should get better as we get closer to the full moon. The cuberas down south, which I've been talking about, are going to be dwindling down. This last full moon of September might be the last shot to get in on that. We're talking about possibly going. If I do get out there, I'm going to probably put it on video and show you guys hopefully some action. What else? Mangrove snapper, I really haven't heard much of. I'm sure there's still some mangroves on the reefs, but that's starting to slow down, it seems like. Been a few smaller muttons around too, a few AJs on the deep wrecks, and that's been pretty much it. Inshore, guys are still catching a few tarpon here and there, and some snook as well. Well, guys, before I forget, also the water is starting to cool a little bit in the bay. We're starting to see more bait in the bay. So expect the inshore fishing for muttons and grouper and stuff like that to pick up finger channels and inside the bay and bay wrecks and things like that. So until next time, my name is Captain Lando Muniz with Nomad Fishing.